the Berserker. Now, I used this class a fair bit in the past. I haven't used it recently. If we go straight into here, and we'll look at the abilities. Now, you see it's very similar to the Paladin in it's got a lot of different moves, fighting moves. Stances, it's basically got one. I mean, it's got a second stance, but it doesn't really, it doesn't really change much. It's straightforward. And the second stance is from your gladiator, your special anyway. So I don't know why they've got that. They'll maybe, who knows, they might add more to it in the future. But don't quote me on that because I actually don't know if they will or won't. But it just appears that way with all this log stuff. So anyway, start with that. You've got Whirlwind. This basically, the Berserker will spin round with the saw and it'll pull everything to her. Very useful if you want to pull enemies off of companions kind of thing, friends. Also useful, it used to be useful in media for pulling the eggs away from the big plant, because those eggs would heal the big plant, but you could pull them away with a Berserker so it couldn't heal. So it has uses for those sort of things. Tectonic Blast. This is basically they slams the saw into the ground and it sends out a shockwave. Good for getting the attention of enemies when you want to start the fight. A leap, you just basically leap towards your enemies doing some damage. Thirst for Battle increases the damage. Critical chance for 10 seconds. Crippling Blow. This basically thrusts the saw into the enemy. Does massive damage. And Thundering Roar. Basically freeze your enemies for a few seconds like with fear. And the Gladiator, which is the special. So, jump in. You can see, like I say, it's all about, like, you've got a dash thump there. That's always a useful one. We'll just pull out. It does quite a bit of damage. But there are various ones. So what we'll do is we'll go with the leap. So 4 is just that blast, which is that, which basically shocks everything around. When we get unstunned, there we go. Just gonna do this because it's gonna be annoying that I'm too close to it. Oh, there's another one. That's there. So again, we'll just go with the leap on these, and that's the spinning one which pulls everything to it. That's C, which does more damage. Down that. And 3, which does a lot of damage. The special is that. Doesn't do much more. It does a lot of damage, but it's kind of slow. Kind of unexciting, that one. V. What's that? Which will stun little enemies. You won't really stun bosses with it. The Berserker works very well paired up with Alks and Witches. So Witches will put curses on things, so this can break the curse. And Alk, if you buff this Berserker, it'll do a lot of damage to the enemy with the buffs. much the execution. One thing that some people don't realise with the Berserker is, in some instances where you get caught in bubbles from the ocean ads, you can actually jump out of the bubble. Normally you get stuck in the bubble and you just have to stay there till it drops you. But the Berserker has a trick where it can actually jump out of the bubble. And I'll show you the whirlwind again. It does that, pulls everything to it, and does some damage. As you can see, it does quite a lot of damage. So if you like close combat, this is an ideal one to go for. Although you will get hurt to a degree. You won't be probably as resistant as the tanks, obviously, the paladin and the knight, but you offset that with the amount of damage you do. As you see, it just pulls that one over. So there you go, that's the Berserker, and like I say, a great one for pairing up with an Alk or a Witch. So if you've got a friend you play with, combine those two and you can pretty much defeat most things.